What is up, YouTube? In this video, we're going to be talking about how trading on Cardano, trading of Cardano native assets, just got 100 times better thanks to DJED and the forthcoming stablecoin ecosystem that Cardano is going to have. Now, why is this important? Why are stables important for trading? Because traditionally on Cardano, if you want to trade Cardano native assets, maybe like MinSwap ADA pair, WMT ADA pair, you're dealing with the price movements of two different assets. Whereas now we have stables, we have DJED. We did have IUSD, it's still there, so that counts as well. We have RUSD, that counts as well. But DJED is the main stablecoin that everyone's talking about. So now that we have DJED, we can trade ADA to DJED pairs, which is basically USD denomination. We can trade Min to USD denomination in DJED. We can trade World Mobile Token / USD in DJED, right? So now that we have these USD pairs to trade in via DJED, via IUSD, via RUSD, via all the stablecoins coming, we only have to focus on the movements of one pair, the Min, the ADA, the WMT. So with that, you're at a much higher advantage of being a successful trader if you do the due diligence and learn, because you don't have these double movements of dual price assets when you're denominated in ADA. This is also hard because as ADA is moving, the other tokens are moving, so it's really hard to tell which one's going to move in correlation to each other, when really when ADA moves, WMT also moves, World Mobile also moves, right? MinSwap moves, everything moves, and so really they're not going to outpace ADA at the beginning. So that's the hard part. But now we have DJED, we have stables, so that's what we're going to talk about in this video. Also, if you're new to the channel, my name is Dawson, and we have new Crypto Comes in Peace hoodies. Check in the link description down below. If you want to check out the hoodies, we have 3 color options: black, this cool like indigo blue they call it, and then we have a pink option. This is our version 1 hoodie with the green Crypto Comes in Peace. We could think about maybe doing a t-shirt, maybe doing another hoodie or future things in the future. But this is our first attempt at having some really cool merch. These hoodies are great to wear around the house. Not everyone's comfortable wearing crypto things out in public. I totally get that. But these are super comfortable, super awesome to wear even just around as a house hoodie, like a pajama type hoodie. Highly recommend you go look at it, check it out if you're interested in getting one. Now, so the first thing I want to talk about in this video is trading on Cardano before we add stable assets. So if you're not a huge trader, or if you weren't particularly trading in the Cardano ecosystem, you might not be aware of what trading was like. I tried to do it a little bit, but it's just when you have two moving price assets in like an ADA Min pair, an ADA Milk pair, ADA WMT, ADA Meld pair, you have both of these assets, both ADA and your Meld WMT Min Swap, moving up and down charts because they're not USD denominated, they're not stable coin denominated. So when you have these things moving, you're trying to chart out, and obviously charts have the same pattern, they have the same things and patterns work. But when you have both assets moving in correlation to each other, it's much harder, in my opinion, to make successful trades. You expect these Min, Meld, Milk tokens to do a lot better, but as ADA is moving up, these are moving up. So you have everything moving at once, and then everything goes down at once, and you're trying to play the balance of which one's going to move the most or which one's going to move first. And in my opinion, that's just not as successfully easier way to make a trade, and you have to be much more skilled and advanced to make that happen. So let's look at a scenario here of what kind of trading was like on Cardano before we had DJED and stablecoins. So this right here is a WMT ADA chart. And when we're looking at this, we're thinking about, okay, WMT, it has potential to move, and ADA has potential to move, because really in the total world, a lot of these, both of these would both be denominated in US dollars in the mind of most people, like myself personally, right? I would think if I was trading, I would end up thinking I need to move everything to dollars at the end, right? So you have WMT and ADA both capable of moving against the dollar, right? So now when we're looking at this chart, this looks like what? Maybe you have a cup and handle formation or something, kind of like this is a very low handle, but maybe let's say it's coming into some resistance here, right? And then you're coming down on the RSI, getting close to oversold or something. But this move right here in WMT is not because WMT is necessarily going down against the dollar, not because it's necessarily a bad thing to invest in, but because ADA has been going up so much, right? As ADA's moved from 25 cents to 41 cents, WMT against the dollar can still be going up. The problem is it's not going up against ADA because ADA is moving up more in relation to its dollar value, right? So that's kind of the problem you're having, is it's hard to mentally wrap yourself into that idea unless you're, like a more advanced trader and can think about those things. But you look at WMT on maybe a coin market cap and it's priced in dollars and you're thinking, man, WMT is going up. Well, I would like to buy some. And then you go to the WMT ADA pair on Tap Tools or Muesli Swap or Min Swap, and your ADA value to WMT is actually going down as ADA goes up. So it's not necessarily a bad thing. It's just a weird way to think about it. And this is resolved with JED. So now let's get into how JED and stablecoins solve this and what that looks like right now. This right here is going to be our ADA to JED chart. So now we're on MinSwap here. MinSwap was the best one that I could see that had implemented this so far. And we'll get into some risks and some issues that we're going to have here in a second. But let's just talk about ADA to JED. Okay, so now we're looking at a chart that has ADA to JED trading capabilities. So now it's like we're on a Coinbase or a Binance or something like that, where now we have ADA movement up and down against the dollar, which should not move. And that dollar is JED. JED should not move, okay? It should be pegged to a dollar and stay there. So now if you want to be a trader and have an easier time trading and think about, is the global total market going up or down? Is just Bitcoin and crypto going to go up or down? You can now trade your Cardano native assets in that mindset instead of having to think about the mindset of, okay, I think ADA is going to go up. Technically, that WMT ADA pair would go down if WMT doesn't move as much or more as ADA, right? So now with ADA JED or ADA to any stable coins, you have the ability to think about, okay, do I just think crypto as a whole is going up or down? And now I can make an easier trade without analyzing both sides of the equation. On MinSwap, you can also come in here and see that first thing, if you're going to swap JED, you need to make sure that you come in here and type JED and choose the one that has the check mark. That means it's verified by MinSwap. That's going to be the one that you want to use. Okay, so you click that. I already clicked it, so I have it over here. But then you have the ability to trade every MinSwap verified token against JED now. The problem you'll have is when you go into a lot of these, there's not a market made for it. So literally, if you wanted to put in a trade here right now, it would be the first one. There's no orders yet so far. And that's because JED is so new. Okay, but let's go back to the ADA chart. And we can see here that now we have this ability to trade MinSwap against the dollar, WMT against the dollar, AJAX against the dollar, okay? This is going to make your trading life so much easier because now you can think about what is the macro doing against the dollar, and then what is Cardano doing against the dollar as well. You can use your charts and patterns as normal, and now you can go from stock trading to crypto trading, Ethereum trading to Cardano trading without having to think, okay, what are my crypto pairs and how is WMT moving against ADA? That is a problem I was having in trading, and I'm glad that's resolved. Now I can go back to trading in a normal way in my Cardano native assets against the dollar, all right? What do I expect to happen from this? I expect more liquidity to get into the Cardano ecosystem. I expect, JED to stabilize closer at a dollar. The more trades that happen, the more orders that are fulfilled, and the more that liquidity of JED is brought into the ecosystem. Same thing for all stable coins. I expect them to get closer to the dollar. Right now, as they're just released, you can have, fluctuations outside because there's just not a market for it. But as things get closer, more liquidity, I expect to get close to a dollar. And then I expect, the ecosystem to thrive and traders to come into the Cardano ecosystem. And you might see more of these like trader groups kind of grow within Cardano because of this. Lastly, I want to touch on what are the risks of this currently. The current risks of trading Cardano native assets to JED is one, JED is like less than a week old. So I don't know, some people maybe want to give it some time, let the Shen reserve build, let the JED reserve build, let the liquidity of the two pairs and the ADA grow a little bit, give it a month or so to see how it works. That would be a good idea probably. The other thing that you want to know is that these trades don't have much, they don't have many candles, many patterns and past history with them because JED was released like last week or this week, right? So there's been a total of like 20 trades that have happened. And you can probably, if you were to put in a limit order, get JED either probably greatly below a dollar or greatly above a dollar, depending on kind of what orders are being put in. I mean, there's been like a couple here, but I'm sure you can get it outside of $1 if you really wanted to by just putting in a limit order and waiting for it to get filled because liquidity is so low. So that's one of the problems you're going to have, is that there's only the 2-hour chart. If we want to change it to like the 4-hour chart, there's no information. And if we want to change it to a daily chart, there's no information. But that's to be expected because DJED literally just came out. But if you want to come in here, and I don't know why that's not working, but basically risks that you have are that DJED's new, there's not a lot of price history, there's not a lot of liquidity yet, and you might need to wait a little bit before you can use these Cardano native assets against the stablecoins until the stablecoins liquidity grows and stablecoins within the ecosystem grow, especially on MinSwap, MuesliSwap. And then you have to wait for things like MinSwap, MuesliSwap, tap tools to actually integrate those DJED pairs. Okay, so those are kind of some risks and things that you might just have to be patient for while this ecosystem kind of grows and works it out. The last thing we're going to do in this video is make an actual trade. All right, we're going to try and be a part of this new ADA DJED ecosystem and help the DeFi on Cardano. Also, I'm really excited to start trading Cardano natives against stablecoins, basically against the dollar. So we're going to do a trade here. Now, I want to look at this chart on CoinMarketCap just to see where Cardano's at and what it's doing. So now, based on this, I'm just going to make a really just very speculative, very quick guess at what I think is going to happen, because I personally am still in the bull trap camp. I think we probably have more bearish downside to go, and I'm okay taking a loss just really quickly guessing on that. All right, so I'm just going to really quickly say that right here is a technical resistance level based off of this low support, this low support, and then all this resistance, and then now it looks like we're coming to a little bit more resistance. Okay, so I'm just going to really very, very quickly just say ADA is going to go down from here. All right, so because of that, I want to now trade my ADA. I have a little trading wallet with like it says right here 68 ADA. So I'm going to trade all this ADA into DJED, and then whenever ADA goes down, I'm going to use that DJED and trade it back to ADA, and I'm going to end up with more ADA. Okay, so right now I have almost 70 ADA, and then after the transaction, like I don't know if all that'll be used, but hopefully I'm going to turn ADA to DJED, and then ADA is going to go down, and I'm going to turn DJED back into ADA for more ADA than I started. All right, so we're going to do that right here, and I'll show you my wallet afterwards that I've actually done it and that I had the DJED. Okay, so it looks like the current market is going to let me trade 62.4 ADA for 24.5 DJED. It says right here that's about $25.29 of ADA for $25.10 of DJED. So we're going to go ahead and swap this. Okay, so now my order has gone through. It only took like a minute or so for it to go through. It did take just a minute, probably just because, liquidity is, not really there. But the order went through, and we can see it right here, my ADA DJED swap, 62 ADA 24 DJED, okay? And then if I go to my Typhon wallet, which is what I was using, you can see I now have 2 ADA, and my assets are right here, DJED USD 24.7 dollars. So this is worth about $24.7 is what I have in my wallet, and we're just gonna wait and see, and I can do a follow video to see if I made the right trade. But DJED is live and working, and that is what I think is going to be awesome to see. I'm going to try and slowly trade on Cardano now with Cardano native assets denominated in USD via DJED, via other stable coins. And, maybe this is something you want to try yourself too. Obviously, trading is really hard. The key to trading is to not trade too much. The key is to first, very slowly, use very, very small amounts of money. The second is to trade less than you think, once, twice a day at the max, right? That's for the best traders. So you and I, maybe we're making a trade a week, right? Do something that you're really confident in, okay? Don't go out trading expecting to make a whole lot of money. I'm trying to make a couple ADA each trade and maybe grow for instance, I started this wallet with 100 ADA and now I'm down to 70 ADA, okay? So it's going down fast. But, that's just the fun of trading, and I just do it just for fun, just to see if I can turn my 100 ADA into maybe 1,000 ADA. right? Who knows? And it'll get progressively easier to trade as the bull market comes on. But as we're in the bear market, as we're in the accumulation zone, that's where the real challenge happens, okay? So if you liked the video, if you're interested in trading, please drop a comment below. Maybe we can start a little traders group on Cardano. I would love that, a little Cardano trader Discord. Maybe we can do that. Check out the hoodies, link in the description below. We have pink, this blue, and we have black. Really cool. I think they're super comfortable for around the house. Get one if you want. If not, just leave a comment and say, hey, looks great. I'm not going to buy one, but keep it up. All right. Other than that, I hope everyone has a great weekend, great week coming up. Hope you enjoyed the video, and God bless. See you in the next one.